Hi and welcome to my first vlog about the products that I sell in my Etsy shop. I wanted to start today with the hand braided coasters that I started making back in 2020. The whole point of what I am doing here is to have an outlet for the scrap fabrics which are left over after I've completed my dress designs. Small pieces, long thin lengths of fabric are just as useful, and it was simply a case of finding what worked. What I love about working with these pieces of fabric is you're never sure what you're going to get, so I will batch up the leftover fabrics if I'm doing, say, 3 or 4 dresses at once or over the course of a month, and I will bag them up and then I will pull them out. I will cut them into strips that are between 1 centimetre and 1 inch wide, depending on the thickness of the fabric, and I tend to work more with elastic fabrics, and the reason for that is because of the types of dresses that I make. Those types of fabrics really benefit the way they drape, so that affects the kinds of output that I get for the coasters. And in terms of the colours, it's simply a case of working with what's there and seeing what works. So I've brought out to my work table here a range of some of the larger styles that I make for the coasters, and I'm going to run through some of them with you now, and I will link below in the show notes so that you can find these items directly on my Etsy shop. As you can see, I have quite a range of colourways and sizes, and as I said before, these depend entirely on what fabrics I have been working with for my dresses. These are quite simply made. They are hand braided like a plait, and I make long lengths of the braided fabric, and then I hand sew them together into whatever size they become. If I have a lot of fabric, I'll make a set. Sometimes I will divide it up between various designs. So these are really quite unique. Every one of these that I'm showing you here now is completely different, and that's because they came from very limited run fabrics. They also vary in size. I have a tape measure here, so many of them are about 7.5 inches, which is 19 centimeters, but I also have much larger ones like this, which are large placemats for table centers and things like that. So this one, for instance, is 13 inches, which is 33 centimeters. They're very easy to look after. These have been stored for a while, but in order to flatten them out, all you need to do is to iron them. The fabrics coat very well with being ironed. And I also do commissions. I've had a few commissions that allows me to make coasters that fit with people's home decor. But some of these, I particularly love the colourways on these. So ones like this and this one, which is made from merino yarn and other yarns that I had left over. I love these. These remind me of like Scottish coastland areas and moorlands, and I have another one here which reminds me of gorse and heather and slate and old stone walls, and I love the way they evoke certain feelings. This one again is very much a country feel, and then you'll get ones like this which are a much brighter and more exciting design. So there's a really good range of styles, and they evoke different emotions, and depend on where you live, what your home is like, These will really add an extra dimension to a room, to a table placement, to a sideboard. Maybe you've got a very extravagant centerpiece like a vase, a bowl of flowers, and you just want to add that little extra underneath to fill the scene, so to speak. So all of these work really well. As I say, they're very soft. They're made from these elasticy style fabrics, but I also incorporate yarns when I can get them, and that creates a range of textures that you can get on these. So these are really quite beautiful, and as I say, these are all completely unique. I have many different colorways for these coasters now in my Etsy store. As I said, there are sets of smaller ones and there are lots of the individual ones, and they range mostly from 5 inches right up to those larger sizes, which are about say 13 to 19 inches, and I do sell worldwide. I will continue to make these as and when I have the fabrics, because it's very much dependent on the dresses that I'm doing. I do have a few fabrics now in my scrap bags, so I should be able to start making a few new styles soon, and I will probably do a video showing how I make them, just to give you an idea for how these actually come about, because something like this can easily take a day to make, because they are completely hand done, and I make these myself. I cut all the strips, I hand sew them together, and then of course you've got to do the photographs and upload them, etc, etc. So it easily takes a day to make one of these. They're beautiful things. I absolutely love them. They've been a great way to help increase that circular economy that I want within my business, which is to not throw things away, which has always been a bit of a concern of mine, and this really enables me to kind of give back, put back. It saves money, and the range of the colours is absolutely spectacular, and can really complement a room if you've got a certain range of colours. And of course, as I said, I will do commissions if I can get hold of the fabrics. You might have the fabrics there that you want turned into something. I'm willing to give everything a go. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you're interested in finding out about more about what I do, I'll leave a link to my Etsy shop down below with some direct links to where you can find these coasters, and you can take a look and see what you think. Speak to you soon.